So how do you define value fund and contra fund? Because contra has a more demand now. Because there are a lot of people are going for contra, thinking that definitely most of the people are looking at the kind of return that is giving. Maybe that this time the style is working.
Right.
So if you could enlighten that.
So value and contra are another category which SEBI has created. And this category is basically simple. It is not going by the market cap definition. As the name suggests, contra basically means contrarian, which means not following the trend today, but going contrary to the trend today. So let's say the easiest way for me to define is that if banks like Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank, I would say two of the best banks in India, are not in favor and are not doing well in terms of their stock prices, then somebody can take a contrarian view and say that, look, I know that these are essentially strong banks, their stock prices may not be doing well, but I want to build a position in these banks right now. So that will be called as a contrarian position. So a contra fund essentially doesn't follow the trend that's going in the market, it usually goes against the trend. A value fund, I would say more often than not, will look like a contra fund for the simple reason that value investing basically means buying something cheap, buying something which is worth more, but the stock price is not reflecting that worth. Typically, when a particular company or a stock is not in favor, it usually becomes a value stock. So in a way, both contra and value to some extent are concepts which are interrelated.
But in contra, the fund manager has a view which is little opposite or little different from the usual trend of momentum of the market.
Absolutely.
So if you look at the portfolio, you may not look attractive
yes.
to the current situation.
When you look at the portfolio, you may think that the portfolio comprises of companies which have been the worst performers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, that is where the fund managers, that active fund managers role really plays a big
Absolutely.
role. Right. Okay. And when we look at these funds, right, this also, what is the kind of a market we should start investing, especially value and contra funds?
I would say some part of the allocation of an investor can go into value and contra funds. Again, it depends on the situation of the client. There is no one rule of thumb. Maybe some investors would be comfortable taking a 10% exposure, someone else may be comfortable taking a 20% exposure. So it all depends on situation. But yeah, some proportion of clients' investment or allocation should go into value stroke contra funds.
Okay. So is it value or contra, or both can get into one portfolio?
I would say, Nikhil, essentially a value fund and a contra fund would look very similar. They are not two distinct, I would say, characteristics. They are essentially very similar.
Okay, yeah. So then we can take the call. Like if I want to go with the both or same one, whatever the investor feel more comfortable.
Correct.
That will be good take, right?